While the Prime Minister says it's too early to say how a proposed pay rise for female-dominated industries will be funded. The Fair Work Commission suggesting a wage increase of up to 30% for low-paid workers in sectors like childcare. Industry leaders warn the move could push up fees for parents, but Anthony Albanese says the pay rise isn't locked in yet.
We need to work these issues through to be clear, this is not a final determination by the Fair Work Commission. This is something that we've asked them to look at, and the gender pay gap is at historic lows as a result of the work that we have done.
Visitors to Aldinga Beach are being warned to beware of increased sightings of a great white shark. There'll be extra water patrols and aerial surveillance over the Easter long weekend. And there's an algae warning for southern beaches this long weekend. While it's not toxic to humans, it's been killing marine life. Gavin Begg from Persa says it's still okay to catch and eat live fish and cockles, but avoid anything dead on the beach.
If you do come across any dead, aquatic marine organisms, then please let us know. Go onto the Fish Watch line. We're continuing to investigate any of the fish kills that come about. They then go and get tested, and then we find out what's going on.
One person has now died as a result of the Legionnaires outbreak in inner Sydney as health officials identify the potential source. 12 cases have now been confirmed between the 13th of March and the 5th of April. Southeastern Sydney Local Health District's Dr Vicky Shepherd says decontamination's underway after bacteria was found in one location.
The team have been working very hard, inspecting hundreds of buildings in the city, and we yesterday received a result that one of the buildings that we tested has grown Legionella bacteria.
And former AFL player agent Ricky Nixon's been arrested by police in Port Melbourne. The 62-year-old is accused of posting a threatening social media comment towards police. He's currently being interviewed. Turning to FIVEAA sport, Western Bulldogs coach Luke Beveridge says the future of Jamara Ugle-Hagan is in the AFL's hands. Ugle-Hagan remains on the sidelines after taking time away from the club due to personal reasons. Videos emerged in recent days of him out partying and drinking. Beveridge says the Bulldogs are continuing to interact with the AFL.
At the moment, the decision-making in regards to Jamara's future and what that entails is significantly in the AFL's hands. So we're waiting on them to do certain things, and we can continually interacting with them and working through it to work out what's best for Mara.
While Carlton coach Michael Voss has confirmed Elijah Hollands will play his first game of the season tomorrow, he's made his way back into the lineup after taking leave from the game due to personal reasons. And the Crows and Port will name their sides today ahead of the weekend's clashes against GWS and Sydney. Round 6 kicks off tonight with Brisbane hosting Collingwood. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Afternoon, still got issues in Port Wakefield on Port Wakefield Road. It's closed city-bound after that earlier truck smash between Port Wakefield and Port Lawn Road. D2 is via Balaclava Road. Look out for a crash on the freeway downtrack near the Stirling Ramp, a crash in Paravista, Milne Road near Nelson Road, and a car rollover in West Lakes, Frederick Road near Settlers Drive. And still got delays on Port Roche Road near Panem Road after a truck breakdown. Liquorland is giving away $5,000 a day. Scan your flybys with any liquor purchase for your chance to win a $5,000 Coles gift card. Ends April 20. T's and C's apply. Choose to drink wise. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy today, mostly sunny for Good Friday, heading for 28. Showers developing on Saturday, 27, then a shower or two on Sunday, down to 20. At the moment, 25. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Beth Excel. Tonight, alarming new numbers on ambulance ramping at our hospitals. An algae warning for some of our most popular beaches ahead of the holiday weekend. Why Easter eggs are soaring in price. A special milestone for Qantas and the strongest evidence of alien life, what scientists say they've discovered. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 Now.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is FIVEAA, always Adelaide. The FIVEAA Sports Show. Rowey, I am flabbergasted, and Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival. Yes, good afternoon. What a day it is on this Easter Thursday to end the short working week and the start of an always much anticipated long weekend. And today we are live from a mega Sample Super Match, as I say. Good afternoon to Rowey and Timmy G.
Thank you, Sammy. Yes, we are on the parade at Norwood. They take on Sturt. It is round 3. It is clearly the best suburban football ground in Australia. So if you've got a memory or a good memory of Norwood Oval, any year, any day, share it with us, 822 300 00. We've got that bottle of Rusden Black Gut Shiraz to give away. And a massive show too. Mickey Godden will preview the Crows game. Jason Williams, the Port game. Riley O'Brien, the big hoo-ha. Come and join it. Is that it?
Hoo-ha.
What do I say?
Hoo-ha.
All right,
Hoo-ha.
whatever. Red leg T-shirt.
Get it right by the end of the year.
Tommy Warhurst and John Painter from Sturt, 2 club greats. They'll join us for this game. It is round 6 of the AFL as well. Welcome, Timmy G. Timmy?
Rowey, yes, you're right. What a magnificent setting it's going to be, and what a game it'll be. Sturt and Norwood, both these teams were excellent last year. I think they only lost 3 in the minor round each, and then clashed in finals as well, and Norwood went straight into the GF. So, look, they'll be looking forward to a big clash tonight, once again, in perfect conditions, and I think after gather round, people are still in the mood, I reckon, to flock in.
Yeah, they get a real... And what a perfect night. No breeze to speak of. 26 degrees it still is. The lights will be great. We'll get to that game. Crows take on GWS Saturday, Adelaide Oval at 3:45. It's the new Fox Super Saturday start time slot. Hate it. Not a fan. 3:45. It's a nothing time.
We've already played one.
I know. It is just ridiculous. Who's with me?
Yeah.
822 300
At least yours is Easter, and there's
true.
And there's no Adelaide Footy League or any country league. So yeah, that's an advantage. But yeah, I don't think it's a great slot.
No, the Giants can score, but boy, can they defend. Crows can score, but not the best on defence. Here's their coach, Matty Nix.
A good week of education, a hard one in the moment. You know, you're disappointed and angry about, what did we get wrong? We've spent the week looking at a couple of key areas we know we've got to improve on, and it's not just from the weekend. It's been across the first 5 weeks an area that's just started to flag itself, and it comes through in the scores against. We're 100+ points a game against. He's not going to get it done for what we're looking to do this season.
Where were you?
Well, I think when you attack the game like they do, you've got to have errors. When you have errors, you've got to be able to defend them. Now, you defend them with your team defence, or you defend them with your back 6, or a combination of the two. Here's what I'm saying. Don't tweak and go back to what you did last year, where you overcorrected and then you couldn't score. There's a simple solution for me, and it's not a rob Peter and pay Paul. Who thinks Geelong can play like they do because they got a bloke the name of Tom Stewart behind the ball? Well, we've got one that I think is equally as good, if not better. His name is Jordan Dawson. Now, I reckon I've got enough coverage in the midfield. I would play him out +1. T. Stewart style.
Now, I've thought a bit deeper about our conversation last night.
Okay.
I reckon it's got even more weight because I heard Adam Kingsley say, we'll tag either Rankin or Dawson.
Yes, he did.
And that removes that straight away.
Correct. And I was going to play that grab, but I thought, well, no, I won't. I don't know why I said I won't, but
it adds weight to your argument.
Well, I think it does. If you ever look at the best teams that go, they've got good defence behind the ball. And you hear Nixie say all the time, God, I love us attacking, but we can't defend a turnover. Well, you can if you've got someone clever like Tom Stewart or Jordan Dawson behind, because they just know how to get on the end of it.
And then, it removes that opportunity for them to tag him.
Yep, there you go.
I don't mind it.
Matty Nix also spoke about focus on the process.
We've got GWS this week, who are another team fighting for top 4, so we've got to do what we can to get a result this week, but we'll be focusing on process and the areas that I've just spoken about, like what we're doing well and what we need to improve on, not the outcome.
Yeah, and fair enough. When you're good enough, and I think the Crows are, okay, let's tick that box. When you've got the talent, and when they have got their best 23, 24, I think you can say they've got their talent. And I think they play a brand of football where they can hit the scoreboard. They're the #1 scoring team. The defence will come. They make some few tweaks and all that sort of stuff. I think it's about this. Their growth has to come from this one thing. Consistency of performance over 120 minutes. They haven't quite nailed that. The good teams that win flags, Brisbane, Geelong, go through them. Hawthorn are working it out at the moment. They do it harder for longer. And if I look at the great eras of teams, and you belong to them, Timmy, and we certainly know Centrals through that era, we knew exactly how they played. They didn't talk about offence or defence. You just did it harder for longer. I know you understand what I mean by that.
Absolutely.
And I think that's
Sometimes
the last...
it's the simplicity of it.
It is the simplicity of... The Crows have too many lapses. They have too many passages where teams kick multiple goals against them. If they could keep their best for 120, and I know that is just every coach is after that, how do you do it? But some teams can, and the good teams do.
And
Would you agree with that?
They are getting better at it. Like
They
you
are.
said, they've probably just got to do it longer against the better teams.
That's exactly right, and I want to see that. Have you say 8223 0000. Crows team will land at 10-6. Out is Peatling for the most perfect tackle.
Yes, he's out.
But he's out. He's out.
That's correct.
Would have been lauded for that tackle 10 years ago, Timmy. But he's out.
Oh, yeah.
He's out.
Probably
Anyway.
would have said do it harder.
Do it harder.
About 20 years ago.
But that's the modern game. I get that.
It's a different world.
And then not only that, we're told to support that. That you shouldn't do that anyway. Whatever. Nick Murray's back in. So who's out? Here's what I'd do.
Yeah.
I'm keeping Nankervis. And I'm moving Nankervis to a wing. And sadly, Sholey might have to just make way. I think Nankervis, Cumming, Miller and Hinge can rotate wing half-back. And I reckon that is a fantastic four, those four. And then if you have a look at Muzz coming in, I think he'll take Hogan. Worrell will take Stringer. Keeney will take Cadman, the young lad. And I reckon Michael Annie on green. Boom. There's my matchups.
All right, I don't mind that. I don't mind what you've put together there.
Team will drop at 10-6.
10-6. I think Port Adelaide will probably be a squad one at tonight because it's Sunday.
Correct.
But
DBJ
the obvious one coming back from being reported was DBJ. So that
does he come straight back in?
Well, I think he will. No,
Okay.
I don't think there'll be much question on that.
Okay.
The question will be who goes out because Pokey obviously came back in last week. So I think young Berry probably, now that the Samfall's back in action, they play Friday night at Alberton. I think he could go and have an absolute run around on the ball, go ballistic, and probably young Tom Cochrane ends up sub.
Okay.
Which is a bit unfortunate, but still getting a game, and that's the main thing.
Port v Sydney, that is Sunday. It's on the SCG, a ground that holds no fear for Port. Their record's been outstanding. They do love it. Here's Coach Ken Hinkley.
We'd like to think so. We'd like to hope so, but we know it's probably a bit of a stretch to say you can do that every week, every game, every second, and every minute of every game. We've seen what happened the other night. We were dynamic for 2.5 quarters, probably a little bit longer than that, but to Hawthorn's credit, they were able to find a way to get back into the game, and it's bloody hard at this level to bring that level of consistency to your performance. But we set out every week to do that, though.
Certainly do. Their record, they had that terrific game before the finals, and then they got beaten in the finals.
Yeah, I think it was the most comprehensive win I've seen by the Power in nearly 10 years, probably since that Richmond final, Port Sydney, and I thought it was won by 112 against the team that had a dip. Well, it was a terrible dip after they won 10 in a row.
They did.
But then they came back up at the right time for finals and really took care of Port pretty easily in that prelim.
Yeah. Okay, have you say, Port supporters, lines available. Here's our topic. It's for a bottle of Rusden Black Gut Shiraz that we don't give away willy-nilly.
No.
What is your favourite Norwood Oval memory? Now, we're at Norwood Oval this week. We might be at Unley a week after. We'll be at Alberton. We're going to go around to all the Samfall decks.
Beauty.
And we'll ask the same question, but this one is it. What is your favourite Norwood Oval memory? Timmy, you start.
Oh, look, for mine, it's sort of bittersweet because it's the day that we played after Anthony Williams was unfortunately crushed in an accident at his own home when he was renovating, and Steve was with him, and Steve was obviously in our team and had to pull out of the game. George Fiarchi was playing reserves that day, and he came up into the league, into the back pocket, and it was an incredibly emotional day. And to be able to, I think we were trying too hard in the first half. We were desperate.
I think we were in front. We was out here.
Yeah, we were leading quite well, but we were just trying too hard. And Jack's halftime speech, and if you go on YouTube and look up the Anthony Williams tribute game, you'll see the documentary that the club did on it. And Keith Thomas speaks on it, and he said that, the day Jim Till passed, they didn't handle the emotions of it well. And he said, watching Port and the way they handled it, and Jack was really calm at half-time. He just told us what the Williams family would be doing. And then we went out in the second half, and it was just an incredible game and just an amazing comeback.
I remember it.
We ended up winning, and we went as a convoy back to the Williams house.
Oh, wow.
And it was just probably the most, what would I say, most memorable but bittersweet win here at the parade.
And you did him proud. Have a listen.
Gully leans back, picked up by Justin Scanlon. Handball to Ginnivan. Richardson chasing. Ginnivan's got it. He must snap for goal now. He's kicked. And it's a goal!
Now, that was hard to hear, but
wasn't it?
Scan's handball, Timmy and I were playing on each other. Timmy belted away from me, and now if I can remember...
To tell you the truth, Richo was chasing me.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
that was the goal that put them in front, that was the catalyst for you to have a great win. And I can remember it was a very emotional day for everyone, because I think you'll find... Samford people had a fondness for the Williams family, and certainly for Foss and the state games and all of that, and it was very emotional. And not long before that, we were the same with Jimmy Till, and KT spoke about it. But no, great win. Mine was a bit different than that. Andrew Newton-Jarman moved from North to Norwood in the 1990 season.
It was after the infamous 89 grand final where Port defeated North and they only kicked the one goal. There were words said, and Andrew took offence at some of the words the coach said about it, and the plan went in action for him to come to the parade, which was the biggest news in Sandford footy that year.
It was huge.
It was massive, until later on when somebody made a bid for the AFL.
No, but it was back in the day.
It was huge.
It was huge, and the Sandford were before their time, because the AFL do it now.
The programming.
They put the programming out. They go, what should we do? Well, okay, round one, Jars is at Norwood. Let's make Norwood play North round one at Norwood Oval, because the likelihood is that Andrew will play on his younger brother Darren.
It was incredible.
And it was unbelievable. We watched that again in the sport room. 13,582.
Amazing.
They were packed to the rafters, and the two Jarman boys put on a show. One Jarman, DJ in particular, I think kicked 6. And we watched the highlights.
How was some of them like... He got clear on his left, and it was like as if he's going to miss. You know, like he was about 45, 50 out on the left. Bang.
Yeah, Andrew will say he had him in the first half, and I think he did. And he was trying to bully him a bit.
Yeah.
And I think the legend goes... The urgent myth goes that Mickey Noonan spoke to DJ at halftime and said, DJ, what are you doing, mate? You're better than Andrew. Why don't you go out there and show him? Oh, well, 6 goals later, and we were in front, and then they won. Have a listen.
Now Scanlon, outside 50 is caught. Play on, said the umpire. Ace puts the body in. Trenorden is there with Smart and the goal square, and it's on. Hall will get first to the ball, but it's out of bounds, and there's Klomp in there. He's been in the thick of it all day.
Well, they could have played my goal that game, Timmy. Who's cutting this stuff up?
Exactly. I saw your goal being kicked.
Left footer?
Yeah, it was magnificent on the left. Why didn't they put that in?
We got a great Timmy highlight, and Rowey's stiffy didn't get one the match. That's what it's about.
Well, it is my oval, my deck. I was born in Norwood. I did go to the primary school just there.
Beulah Road.
My grandmother did live on Beulah Road. Anyway, 82230000. Your memories of Norwood Oval, the parade. They could be good, bad, they could be indifferent. We have a bottle of Rusden Blackgut Shiraz. Get to it.
82230000 is the number. Huge show jam-packed for this Easter Thursday. We have Riley O'Brien to join us here live at 5 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. We've got Port Adelaide and the Crows assistants in Jason Williams and Mick Godden to join us shortly. James Fantasia, who's the outgoing CEO of the Redlegs, he'll speak to us live. And Tom Warhurst and John Painter will join us as well, as we're building up to Norwood and Sturt tonight on this Thursday evening. Your call straight after the break. It's 20 minutes after 4.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Mario Maiolo Promotions and 5AA present Blowin' in the Wind, honouring Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Bob Dylan with friends Johnny Cash, Joan Baez and the Travelling Wilburys. Come celebrate the legends who contributed to cultural change through inspired lyrics and songs of revolution with an amazing cast. The times they're a-changing, folks, so don't think twice because it's all right. Blowin' in the Wind, Her Majesty's Theatre, Friday 23rd of May. Book now at Ticketek.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early. or late. Either way, the Olympic Industries sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA-engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough, or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
Now, when it comes to buying and selling property, you need an agent who's not just there for the old quick sale. No, sirree. You need someone who can stand their ground to ensure you're maximising your home's potential. Now, there's a good reason Toop & Toop is defying market trends and continuing to deliver premium outcomes for its clients.
Talk about market leaders. We all know the name, Toop & Toop. 40 years of history. Bronte and his team understand the market like no other. They know what it takes to maximise results for your property in any selling condition. So if you're thinking about putting your house on the market, or you just want to, well, know what it's worth, now is the perfect time. Toop & Toop, Adelaide's trusted real estate advisors.
Now, this is how you get in touch. Visit toop.com.au or call 8362 8888 for more details. Don't forget, you can hear more from Bronte and the Toop & Toop team on Real Estate Radio with Stacey Lee every Wednesday, 2 p.m, right here on 5AA.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. The Excelsior Hotel's $22 schnitzel and pint offer in the front bar every day. The Excelsior Hotel, Coghlan Street, Brompton. Feels like coming home, but better.
1 minute you're taking a test drive at Edwardstown Mazda, the next, sipping cocktails in Bali. Oh, cheers. Buy a car from Edwardstown Mazda and win the ultimate Bali holiday. Flights, accommodation and activities. Plus, score up to $8,000 in savings across the entire Edwardstown Mazda range. Your new car and Bali holiday are waiting only at Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply.
It's gotta be.
Now, where is my suitcase?
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Have you ever dreamed of having the world's best Italian-made tiles in your home? Right now at National Tiles, select any one of our 17 very popular standard range tiles and we'll upgrade you to the world's very best Italian-made tiles absolutely free, saving you a massive $4,000 on an average 80 square metre order. Yes, have the world's best Italian-made tiles and depending on quantity, save up to $4,000 or more. But you'll have to be quick, so rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
He's a Richmond man, and as I said, we've punished him enough. And right now, it's around performance. And if he trains well enough, he'll be available for selection this weekend, and we'll make that decision later today.
So that's Coach Adamuze yesterday. Noah Bolter has reportedly been selected for his game this weekend for the Tigers. A little bit of controversy around that. Have your say. 8223 0000 is the number. We're taking your calls on your favourite Norwood Oval memory. We are live here from Norwood Oval for Easter Thursday SANFL Supermatch football. Nothing beats the SANFL and nothing beats super matches in the SANFL with beats, eats and footy fun. 25 after 4. Let's check your traffic.
Afternoon, guys. Still got issues in Port Wakefield after that earlier truck smash on Port Wakefield Road. It's closed city bound between Port Wakefield and Port Lawn Road. D2 is via Balaclava Road instead. Look out for a crash on the freeway downtrack near the Stirling Ramp, a crash in Paravista 2, Milne Road near Nelson Road, and a car rollover in West Lakes, Frederick Road near Settlers Drive. Cameras just set up then, Bartels Road in the city and Hallett Road in Stonyfield. Get business ready with Telstra Business Internet. It has your business covered with reliable connectivity, network monitoring and specialist business support. Visit Telstra today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Well, Norwood Oval, the best suburban ground in Australia. That is a biased opinion and has some of the best football memories, certainly for me. If you're a Norwood person, what is it? And if you're any SANFL person, what are your memories here? Let's go to Belair. Hello, Bob.
G'day, Rowey and Tim. Look, without a doubt, the 1975 premiership celebration, bringing the cup home after 25 years to a crowd on the Norwood Oval was packed. They were lined up onto the parade from Wood Street.
Wow.
And the emotion of Mike Poulter, Bob Hammond, and the roar of the crowd when he held the cup up. Added to that was the emotion of Alec Lill, our 1925 Magarey medalist. The joy of Wally Miller. I reckon he had superchargers on his wheelchair that night. It was a magnificent night. And,
yeah, well, we broke a drought to do it. I think that photo, Bob, of Bob Hammond hugging, you just mentioned his name.
Johnny Wynn?
No. It was one of the most magnificent photos.
I remember the photo, actually, yeah. It's right after the game, isn't it? Yeah, on the Oval.
Photo.
Yeah.
Bloody brilliant. Thanks, Bobby. Hello, Tyrone.
Good afternoon, boys. My favourite memory from Norwood Oval is the day that fabulous Phil rubbed Graham Corns' face into the mud in front of all the fans sitting in the Western grandstand.
That is funny.
Tyrone, I've seen the footage of that recently too, and it's quite comical. It's quite comical.
It is.
I think even Cornsey saw the fun side of it as he got up to take the free kick, but that's a great memory. Well
he
done.
was as talented a player as a lad as you'll ever wish to meet.
Unbelievable.
I mean, to get the nickname Fabulous, he did, didn't he?
Had everything. Yeah, no, you did right.
Phil Carman.
He had the sprint, the leap, the endurance, the power.
The skill.
Play anywhere. Let's go to Happy Valley. G'day, Jai.
Jai.
How are you, boys? Happy Easter.
Same to you, Jai.
Yeah, my favourite memory is pretty recent, but from a long-suffering South Adelaide fan, May 2022, Timmy Cantilla getting one right at the death after a miserable day in the weather. And, we got a nice rare kick after the death to beat your voice. So, yeah, that was my favourite memory, no doubt.
Yeah, you're right, Jai. I mean, like I said, not a lot of clubs would brag a winning percentage here at the parade. So if you can get one against the Tide, it's pretty pleasing. And I know there's a lot of stories about people coming down to Alberton and beating Port and putting that in their black book for later on. It's a great tradition, and I love the fact that we're going. There was one here that mentioned the Cornsey thing. Russell sent in. He said, "I've got all these memories." I think it says running across the oval with his Norwood flag. That'd be Brian, wouldn't it? Before the league game started in the 70s. You remember he used to run with the flag? Yeah. Graham Corns in the mud, thanks to Fabulous Phil. Now, he says yellow footies on Tuesday night at the Ardith Cup. He reckons Norwood, Hawthorn, North Melbourne, they all used to play here.
Yep.
And then he used to hide them and then collect them after the game.
Oh, stop it. The Ardith Cup, that was a cigarette, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was indeed.
Hello, Steve. And it doesn't have to be a Norwood memory, a sample memory.
Well, this is at the parade.
At Norwood Oval, at the parade. Hello, Steve.
G'day, Timmy. My memory is of a 10 or 11-year-old kid at the parade in New Shirley hit me in Nygaard.
Oh, yeah. Nygaard, he was a big kick, wasn't he?
Oh, he put him out right in front of the stand.
That's right.
He went absolutely berserk. It was just before half-time. They wanted to lynch Curly.
Yeah. I think I remember that story, and I think they stopped them jumping over the brick wall, didn't they?
Oh, God. Well done, Steve.
Excellent work for Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted, custom design, fixed pricing, total peace of mind, because trust is a must. Very shortly we'll get to the 4:30 headlines, and then we'll speak to Adelaide Crows assistant coach Michael Godden.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Adelaide has become the 5th capital city to have a median house price exceeding $1 million. Wow.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Just 1 year ago, in March, we hadn't even cracked a median of 900,000 yet. It was 892.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
The yearly growth has been about 12.1%.
5AA Breakfast.
It's now a myth that South Australia is significantly more affordable.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. Beachgoers are being urged to be alert if visiting Aldinga after an increase in great white shark sightings. Authorities will be stepping up patrols over Easter. Truckies died after a fiery crash at Inkerman north of Adelaide. It's causing delays on Port Wakefield Highway. Disgraced AFL player agent Ricky Nixon has been arrested over a series of alleged threatening social media posts. And Richmond's Noah Bolter will make a return to AFL on Saturday night despite awaiting sentencing for a violent assault. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Afternoon, still got issues in Port Wakefield after that earlier truck crash. Port Wakefield Road is closed city-bound between Port Wakefield and Port Lawn Road. D2 is via Balaclava Road. Speed restrictions for outbound traffic. Look out for a crash too on the freeway downtrack near the Stirling Ramp, a crash in Para Vista, Milne Road near Nelson Road, and a car rollover in West Lakes, Frederick Road near Settlers Drive. Cameras just set up then, Crossroad and Myrtlebank and Fitzroy Terrace, North Adelaide. Dan Murphy's don't match prices, they beat them. And with Dan's deals, get Absolute Vodka, 1 litre, $63 for My Dan's members. Ends today. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, mostly sunny. Tomorrow a high of 28. At the moment, 25. More news at 5 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Trillions of dollars of your super is invested outside Australia. Bring back Australian super. Throw out career politicians. Make Australia great. Vote 1, Trumpet of Patriots.
Authorised by Sue Ellen Wrightson for the Trumpet of Patriots Gold Coast.
Wayville Hyundai's 2024 stock clearance is on now. Every new 2024 Hyundai is priced to clear. No waiting, no delays. You can drive away today. Did you know you can always get your car in quicker for a service at Wayville Hyundai? Enjoy peace of mind knowing you're in the best hands with our expert service team. Ask about our service now, pay later options. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground at 11 Goodwood Road.
Introducing More Rewards from Sip and Save. Yes, sirree. More Rewards is where you'll get the best deals, exclusive offers and much, much more.
Have a listen to these Sip and Save More Rewards prices. West End Draft, 30-pack cans, just $55.99.
Bargain.
2, thank you. And how about this? CC's Canadian Club Premix, 4.8%, 10 packs, $41.99.
Very popular indeed. But why wait? Join today as a member and you can get these Sip and Save More Reward offers. Now, Sip and Save More Rewards, where rewards are more rewarding.
Brilliant. Sip and Save, there's more in store. Prices may vary in country areas. Do this. Drink responsibly.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
While you're taking an Easter break, check out Harvey Norman for their super deals. Firstly, there's the Acer Aspire Go laptop with a full HD screen, now just $368. Perfect for all your browsing and streaming needs. You can save $200 on the HP 15-inch Intel i5 laptop, now only $898. A great choice for work or play. Or the Lenovo IdeaPad Copilot Plus PC with a Snapdragon processor is now just $1,298 with the latest AI tools to accelerate your productivity and creativity. It's a whole new way to use a PC. Hurry, these deals must end Monday. Harvey Norman, where you'll always find the best range, best brands and best prices guaranteed.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you. Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
At 25 minutes to 5, we're live here at Norwood Oval for Easter Thursday Samful Supermatch Football. Norwood and Sturt are going head-to-head tonight. We'll speak to two of their greats very shortly, in Tom Warhurst and John Painter. We'll have Riley O'Brien with us live here at 5 o'clock tonight as well. But right now, speaking of Crows, let's get into their matchups for the weekend. Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
I'll get to Godsey, but he'll vouch for this because I said this is the best suburban ground in Australia. This is football ground. And maybe the Southern Hemisphere and perhaps the world. So just before I get on, who has a fountain out the front? We're sitting here in the square. There's a fountain. Not only is there a fountain, to our right there is a rotunda that many of people have been married in. Not only that, there's a double brick ticket hut with terracotta tiles on the roof. Yeah. We've got a double brick wall on the western flank that is not 3 metres from the boundary line, where everyone feels like they're on top of it.
AFL standard.
Surrounded by
Heritage listed.
And Italian churches with a school. Yeah. It is truly one of the great grounds. And our next
and I
guest,
think
Mickey
one of your
Godden,
big
would have started
advantages
here, I reckon.
too is being right on the parade.
It is
Perfect.
one of the great. Well, it's going to be a big game. Crows take on GWS. What a great test for the Crows' maturity and improvement. Head of Development is Mickey Godden. He joins us now. Mickey, welcome.
Thank you very much, guys.
Was I wrong about the Norwood Oval, one of the greatest suburban grounds in the world, Godsey?
Yeah, there's a lot of love there for the Oval from you, Rowey. I think I do love the Oval. It is, all suburban grounds are wonderful, but clearly when you've you've been in a lot of battles on that Oval, it's beautiful. But I do love my Morn Team Kia Oval, and certainly I do love that Oval as well.
Well done. It is about the memories.
I love you.
It's about the memories.
He did the sponsors though. I love it.
That is exactly right. Hey, Godsey Muzzer back.
Yeah, he's at this stage. He's looking really good. Trained well yesterday. Believe he pulled up well. I haven't seen him today with a day off, but we'll train in the morning, and we expect him to be back.
Okay, Peatling out. We know that. Who's going to cover his midfield minutes?
Yeah, we've been playing obviously probably an extra midfielder or a midfielder that can play forward. So it doesn't really change a whole lot. Obviously, the guys that have been doing the job in there will continue to do the job. So the minutes will just be shared amongst other guys, really. I mean, there's not a huge change in there.
Okay, so I know they've got 3 tools, GWS, so Muzzerback does help that, but how will you shuffle that back line now that he's in?
Yeah, look, it's always awkward, to talk about matchup this far out, but I think that they, Joshua Worrell plays tall, we know Hinchey can play tall, Keeney, Muzz, I mean, they've all got their matchups, and these days, you do get a matchup, but you also got to play the area, so whether you're getting high or getting deep. So, they're certainly a very dangerous forward line and one we've got to be very mindful of. But Homshi, after not him giving birth, but his wife giving birth during the week, he's got a lot of work to do to make sure that he can get that back line ready to go.
Oh, congratulations,
yeah, well
Homshi.
done.
Well done. Hey, GWS average score against is 67. Now, I know it's not a massive sample size, but you can get a bit of a trend on that. They're number 1. There's the battle, isn't it? Your forwards, which is number 1 for scoring, against their defence, their team defence, Godsey.
Yeah, most definitely. They're an awesome footy team, and the way they move the ball is very slick. And we like to feel that we do the same, as you mentioned. But it's well documented. We are leaking a bit at the moment, and we need to make sure we tighten all that up as well. So, clearly they are a very good defensive unit. We'll really attack that, but then also, when they get going, we've got to work really hard to make sure we restrict the scores, because giving up 100 points every week is not where we need to be at.
Yeah. How will you tweak your game? You still want to score. That's in your DNA. But you need to defend better, but it's probably more defending a turnover. So what sort of tweaks can you do to facilitate that?
Yeah, spot on. Our ability to defend the ball, length the ground's been pretty good, but it's when we get that mid-arc turnover, we make a critical error and we're being punished for it. So it's our organisation, really, as soon as we lose possession of the footy, behind the footy, but also at the coalface, make sure the pressure's on there. And I think there's been periods there where we haven't done that well enough. So we've identified that clearly. Everyone can see it, so we've just worked really hard at it. This week we actually got a good training session yesterday, because clearly we didn't get anything the week before leading in, to the 5-day break. So it's been nice to get out there yesterday and, educate and to train that. So, those mid-arc turnovers is where we've really got to pick up our game.
Hey, Mick, I heard Adam Kingsley say that they would look to tag. They like doing that, and they thought that it would be either Rankin or Dawson. How do you sort of prepare for that if it does happen?
Yeah, look, who do you take? I'm not really sure whether you go Isaac or Dawson. I mean, I'll leave that one to them. But, Dawson gets pretty good attention most weeks, and, clearly like every tagged player, we back them in to get through it, and they obviously go and make 2-on-1s and all the things you've got to do. But, Isaac's, spending a lot of time in the midfield now, so he's getting some pretty tight attention, but he's learnt all those skills as well. So whatever one they send to, the other one, has got to make it pay. And but as they know, as a team, they've got to work together with Crouchy and Jakey Sligo and the boys, and whoever comes to them, they've got to work together.
Yeah, I think I heard that Isaac is your number 1 in contested possession, so he's definitely working in and around the footy and winning it where you need it.
Absolutely, he is. Yeah, he's very high in contested possession, which is, he's a player that, we know traditionally has been that dynamic half forward, and moving into the midfield, he's winning a lot of contested ball, and that's it's great for us, because to have someone in there who can win the inside ball and be so damaging on the outside is a real asset to us.
You never have it your own way for 120 minutes, and teams try to deny each other's strengths. I think your best is good enough. There's no question about that. But how do you sustain it for 120 minutes and stop Oppo having their moment in the sun and scoring with real momentum against you, Godsey? You as coaches talk about maturity. That's the one that I want to see.
Yeah, we feel we're growing. We're certainly not a finished product in that space, but the game, it does turn into ping pong at times, and in every AFL game, and the team that recognises it is able to balance that out and maybe just take some heat off the footy for a little while, and then regain a bit of energy, because we certainly can't play the speed of 120 minutes. No team can. So you see the great teams like Brisbane, their ability to control the ball for periods and to, I guess, reset a little bit. So we're working on it, and as I said, I feel this year we're better at it. We're certainly not a finished product.
Yeah, okay. Just some other guys coming through. I'm a Luke Pedlar fan. How close is he to a call-up?
Yeah, really close, Luke. He's doing some really good things. He's a little interrupted pre-season, but he's up and going now, playing a fair bit of midfield at Sample, midfield forward. So we've just got to get that balance right to make sure that he's ready to go into the AFL team. But he's right on the edge for sure.
Yeah, okay. We got Rob on after 5, Riley O'Brien, the big hoo-ah. Is it hoo-ah?
Hoo-ah.
Hoo-ah. He was down on his game versus Geelong. He was defended vehemently by our very own Scotty Campriani, but we'll talk to him personally about that. How far away is Lachlan McAndrew from being a serious contender for ruck?
He's a serious contender now. We're really happy with what Lockie's doing. He's come to our footy club, had a crack at it, got the opportunity. Now he's putting in some really good performances in the Sample, and then also at training. And him and Rob have had some great battles this year in training. But yeah, Riley, I'll let him speak for himself. But as he knows, he was down a little bit, but he's a fighter, and he's certainly got the pressure from Lockie, because Lockie's coming.
Okay, that's good to know. You have a fond memory at Norwood Oval? Was there an Eagles game you coached that you smoked us here, or we just wiped you left, right and centre, Godsey?
Actually, I think we were pretty good at Norwood, and I do. My fondest, well, probably not my fondest memory. I think it was playing against Gary McIntosh when he knocked one over 55 from the stoppage to win the game when I was standing in a stoppage, and that sort of still breaks my heart that night. But it was good to see the great man in full flight.
Well, I'm glad you said Gary McIntosh knocking one over your head, not knocking you out. Because normally when the word knocking's with Gary McIntosh, it's generally got nothing to do with the cod. Hey, Godsey, all the best. Thanks for your time. I'm that excited about this Saturday's game against some quality opposition who can attack and defend, and see what we can put against them, mate. Thanks for your time.
No worries at all. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I am so looking forward to this game. Because I rate GWS.
Absolutely.
And why would you not?
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
It's going to be a great night. Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the goal square, customise your build with Sterling Homes. Let's get back to your calls.
What did you take out of that interview?
I think they're pretty confident. Yeah. I like Mick's confidence in the way he was answering everything, and I think they've got their head around what they need to do.
I took out that Nathan McAndrew's ready.
Yeah. Well, he just said it bluntly.
That raised eyebrows, didn't it?
After 5,
we looked at each other.
Riley O'Brien.
He said it bluntly.
Let's go to Ridgehaven. Hello, Andrew.
G'day, fellas. How are you?
Good,
Andy.
What's your memory?
It was back in the late 80s. Our company I used to work for at the time, they used to sponsor Norwood. So you'd go down there on a Sunday afternoon and you'd have your nice little lunch. You go up to the grandstand 6. And there was this bloke running around from Port Adelaide at the time. I think his name was Nathan something.
Oh, yes, I do remember.
If I remember. Anyway, he was absolutely controlling the wing in front of the grandstand. This guy was a standout between most players on the park that day. Because being a Port Adelaide supporter, we're cheering him on. So all of a sudden we hear this voice behind us say, "How did they get in here?" And me and my mate turned around, and there was these two older women sitting behind us with blue hair, die-hard Port supporters wondering how our Port supporters got in the grandstand.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you know what? You've got to be careful of those invites that you give out at work.
And the other memories we're after, because it's about the whole precinct, the area, Nord, the Sanford, and we're here to watch the Nord Sturt game. But how many people met their wife or partner at the Redlegs Club? How many of you came down those stairs sideways?
Lot. My brother-in-law...
The old Sam's.
My brother-in-law, yes, met his wife at Sam's.
Well,
both Port supporters, but Sam's Disco was a very popular one.
Oh,
even
God.
Port people came down for
it used to be the Nord Town Hall, which is about 300 metres up the road. My dad left home at 20 to drive to Melbourne. He got to Nord and he wanted to have a sleepover, and they heard there was a dance at the Nord Town Hall. Met Mum that night.
Wow.
Went back 6 years later with 4 kids. Beat that story. That's how I'm a Nord man.
It's a fair sleepover.
That's a a couple of Wellington boots too. Hello, Neil.
Hello, you're Rowey and Timmy.
Yeah, good, Neil.
Yeah, just want to say one of my best memories was back in 1963, just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
When Norwood were playing North, and the quarter-time score was Norwood 10 goals forward and North Adelaide 1 point.
Wow.
And Bill Wedding was belting him down to the forward pocket just about that day. That'd just about be his best game, I reckon, ever for Norwood. And it was just one of those games.
I never got to see him, Neil, because I was too young, but just tell us how good Bill Wedding was.
Well, Bill Wedding was an absolute freak. He'd get up and long, tall and gangly, and he was punch the ball a mile. And he wasn't the best kicks of all time, but he had a fairly good mark. And Tat Ruckman was one of the best in Australia, we found out in '63 when he took the Vixer part in Melbourne.
Of course, in the state game. Fantastic. Thanks, Neil. Thanks for your memory.
Love your work. More of your memories soon for Rusden Blackgut Shiraz, 8223 0000. We'll speak to Port Adelaide's development coach Jason Williams straight after we check your roads.
Your Tigers in Port Wakefield Road still closed after that earlier truck crash. Port Wakefield Road, city bound between Port Wakefield and Port Lawn Road. D2 is via Balaclava Road. Got some issues on the freeway at the moment too. On the up track, a breakdown just before the Mount Osmond ramp, and on the down track, a crash near the Stirling ramp. Also look out for a crash in Paravista Milne Road near Nelson Road, and cameras just set up then Church Terrace in Walkerville and McGill Road in McGill. Adelaide Central Market is open in the lead up to Easter. Find your inspiration and ingredients at over 70 stalls under one roof. Easter trading hours at adelaidecentralmarket.com. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
See movies how they should be seen. Hear movies how they should be heard. All on the big screen with Quake Sound at Wallace. And now you can see them for less and enjoy candy bar discounts and other special member offers and freebies. Simply become a My Wallace member today. It's free, it's easy, and it's full of benefits. Go to wallace.com.au and click on Join My Wallace today. Wallace Mitcham, Mount Barker, Noarlunga and the Piccadilly. South Australia's home of big screen magic and entertainment.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. We're finding Adelaide is attracting people not only for its events and festivals, but for the long term, whether they're investing or making the move here. Last year, a significant number of our buyers came from interstate or overseas, making this an ideal time to showcase your home to a wider audience. At Toop and Toop, we have proven strategies to connect your property with the right buyers and ensure no opportunity is missed. Visit toop.com.au. Toop and Toop, Adelaide's trusted real estate advisors.
What did you do last long weekend?
Can't remember.
Make your long weekends memorable with Sip and Save, with a chance to win one of 3 epic long weekend getaways when you buy a specially marked case of Hahn, like a Hahn Superdry 3.5 30-pack for $56.99. Plus enjoy great deals like Jack Daniels and Cola 4.8% 10 packs for $49.99. You can expect more from Sip and Save. More deals, more range, more service. Prices may vary in country areas. Terms and conditions apply.
Sip and Save. There's more in store.
You don't just do a good barbie, no sirree. You got to become a tong master, put the cape on, you name it, and say, I am the backyard hospitality director. And when you do, you need the very best outdoor kitchen from Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens.
This might make you look good. Not many things do, but they do. Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. You can choose from the best appliances. You can add a bar fridge, a pizza oven. Stun your guests with one of those custom-made concrete bench tops. Do indoor concrete bench tops as well. These handmade bench tops can really update any kitchen space. Custom made for you. Every piece is unique.
They actually do like a range of colours. You say, oh, yeah, I want a little tinge of green in there or whatever. They can do it. It's a magnificent looking bench top. So get in there. Call for a consultation or a quote today. They're fantastic people. Seaford Meadows is where the showroom is on Farrow Circuit. And become the best backyard hospitality director. And when you do, get an Adelaide Outdoor Kitchen. Check them out at adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au.
Hi, Brett Ibbott here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. We've been doing deals on a huge range of 2024 plate Mazdas, and we've just received truckloads more of them, all priced to clear. These drive-away deals on new Mazdas include free 12 months rego, free stamp duty, and accessory packs worth $500. Yep, absolutely free. All exclusive to Mawson Lakes Mazda. No gimmicks, just great deals. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, T's and C's apply.
There is only one Australian flag that represents all Australians. We don't need to be welcome to our own country. Vote 1, Trumpet of Patriots.
Authorised by Sue Ellen Wrightson for the Trumpet of Patriots Gold Coast.
Oh, here's one. Hey, you leaving, mate?
Yeah, one sec, buddy.
Okay, no worries. Come on. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Parking turning you into someone you're not? Search UPark app today.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the FIVEAA Sports Show.
7 minutes to 5. We're here at the Sandful for Norwood and Sturt for a massive super match for the Sandful. Nothing beats the Sandful on a Thursday night with beats, eats and footy fun. Riley O'Brien's going to join us after 5 o'clock live here tonight. But right now, let's head to Albert, and all thanks to Sharman Shelving, who have moved their showroom next door into the big white building. They're still at 412 North East Road.
Well, Port Adelaide, well, they got a big game. Sydney in Sydney after a magnificent gather-round win against Hawthorn. We've got one of their assistants and development coach, Jason Williams, on the line. G'day, Jason.
G'day, legend. How are you?
All right, buddy. All right. Hey, how was the main session? And was the main session today or yesterday? Which one was the main session?
Today was our main session.
It was, yeah, because we interviewed Joe Richards and he wasn't sure, so I told him to check because did he turn up?
Was he there?
Did he actually arrive?
He was definitely there and he was cracking in as per usual.
He played an absolute ripper. I thought it was his best for us, and I did say to him, like, I was really pleased. I thought we got the ratio of handball to kick right against the Hawks, and he was probably one of them who I thought maybe was a little confused prior, but he looked very clean and very good by foot.
Yeah, definitely. I think, as it's been probably well documented now, we've tried to change things with our ball movement this year, and that the handball to kick ratio is definitely part of it. So, hopefully as the season goes on, we get more consistent and our results in that, that sort of phase of the game resembles something that, you would have seen on Sunday night watching.
Yeah, exactly. It was fantastic to watch it, and the first half was amazing. The question all this week I've heard in just about every press conference has been, can Port back it up? Why do you think that is? Why does that question always come up, you reckon?
It's a good one. I think if you look at the core of our group, it's still quite young, so there's always going to be those questions around consistency. But as our group, spend more time together and mature, hopefully those questions go away. But I would say that, with us in the past, play some really, really good footy at times, and then at other times we, might drop off a little bit, particularly when our game is built around contest and pressure. For a young side, that's hard to do week after week. But as I said, the more we mature, the better we get in that space. And I think you've even seen that in games. We might start poor in those areas and then get really good in it. If you look at the St Kilda game, that's probably a perfect one to think back to.
Yes, absolutely. We won some really important stats, ones that we probably weren't performing in, but, our contested ball, our ground ball, it set a really good template. And I saw with Sydney, Collingwood probably got them in those stats, and that might be a good thing for us to refer to.
Yeah, definitely. I went to that game, so definitely early, that was probably one of the reflections I had as well, that they probably weren't as clean. When you're not clean, you just invite that pressure which then means you fumble, you double grab, and then ultimately lose contest. So I think for us, that's probably an area of the game that we need to be really consistent in as well. As I said, we are a high pressure sort of contest team when we're playing at our best. So both teams are probably going to look to apply that sort of pressure. It's going to make it hard for us, for either team, to handle the ball really and put it in that contest game.
Jason, will you play Connor Rowey across half-back again, or that was a one-trick pony?
I think it'll be something we can go to throughout the year. I think, again, it's probably really well documented that Connor played a lot of his junior footy there, was drafted in that sort of position. So, throwing him across half-back was really good for us last week. It did give us something a bit extra, a bit of calmness and leadership, through that middle part of the ground too. So it's definitely one of those things that we will, probably use again this year and keep up our sleeves, definitely. But I also wouldn't be surprised to see him play in other positions too. We have that sort of flexibility with such a deep midfield. So, yeah, I definitely think it's one to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, he's pure class. Love the kid. DBJ back from suspension. My big one is Bergman okay?
Yeah, I think he will be okay. He copped a pretty nasty knock to his knee, and it really, really blew up. It's a relatively common thing that when the knee's large, you can drain it and it recovers reasonably well. He got scanned this week. There was no structural damage, so we anticipate that he is going to be okay. But it's one of those things that we've got to give him to the last minute to really be sure.
Okay.
Thanks very much for your time, Jason.
Well done, Jace.
All the best against Sydney. You'll be at Alberton Friday night for the game.
Friday night.
Yeah, beautiful. The South, so I'll see you there, mate, and all the best in that one as well.
Look forward to it, mate. I'll see you then.
Sensational. Jason Williams, looking after our younger players at Port Adelaide, developing them as well as being an assistant.
I like the cut of this boy's jib.
Yes, I do too.
Love how he talks.
He's very good. And keep it up, also.
And he's from big raps. Every time I speak to someone. Well done.
Outstanding. 2 minutes to 5. All thanks to Sharman Shelving, who've moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road. The big hooer, Riley O'Brien, is going to join us after the 5 o'clock news.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Feel good health catch on with Bupa, CanStar's outstanding value health insurance for 2024. To join almost 4 million Australians, search Bupa Health Insurance today.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Experience the magic of Barossa at the 2025 Vintage Festival, April 23 to 27. Get ready for over 85 events, including long lunches, exclusive tastings, live music, art and heritage experiences. Feel the excitement of bidding at Zygon Market, test your skills at the Grape Stomp, run around the vines of Lindock, or discover new events Barossa Big Sing and Club Vintage. The Barossa invites you to come and celebrate Vintage 2025 with us. Tickets are selling fast. Go to barossavintagefestival.com.au.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future, to build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.
If you're looking for friendly, reliable and high-quality printing, think Tag Printing. From printing and copying to scanning, Tag Printing handles it all with precision and speed.
That they do, and if you have big plans to print, Tag Printing specialise in fast, high-quality plan printing, perfect for architects, builders, engineers and designers. Plus, more jobs are completed the same day. That's most
excellent.
of them.
No, that's excellent. Now, and because it's important to keep your prints protected and looking professional, Tag Printing offer laminating and mounting services.
That's excellent. So whether it's for business, student or personal projects, Tag Printing should be your go-to. You'll find them at 134 Glen Osmond Road Parkside, just 5 minutes from the city, or you can jump online, take a look at everything they do at tagprinting.com.au.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Partly cloudy tonight and mostly sunny tomorrow, a high of 28. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Hop into Macca's for their classic fruit hot cross bun with warm, melty butter. Available for a limited time.
Holiday makers using Port Wakefield Highway can expect delays this afternoon after a fatal truck crash at Inkerman. 2 trucks collided, with one bursting into flames and killing the 77-year-old driver. The other driver and his passenger suffered minor injuries. There was thick fog in the area at the time, which may have contributed to the crash. Traffic on southbound lanes remains blocked with diversions in place, while it's slow going for northbound traffic with speed restrictions in place. While a cyclist is in hospital after crashing into a van at Middleton this afternoon, the man in his 70s has serious injuries. An overnight fire at Port Elliot has left a damage bill of $1 million after destroying a shed housing a gym and an excavator hire business. CCTV shows 2 people running away before the flames take hold and flee in a getaway car. The Australian economy has added 32,000 jobs over the past month, but analysts say an interest rate cut is still on the cards. More from Michael Packy in Canberra.
Latest figures show the jobless rate remains at a 50-year low of 4.1%. Treasurer Jim Chalmers says it's a good result, claiming our economy is resilient despite challenging times.
The combination of economic outcomes that we've seen would be envied right around the world.
But many analysts argue unemployment is expected to increase in the months ahead. AMP Chief Economist Shane Oliver believes the Reserve Bank is likely to provide a cushion at its next board meeting with another interest rate cut.
The debate will be about whether it's a 0.25% cut or whether it's a 0.5% cut.
The RBA will take into account the jobs data and upcoming inflation numbers.
The time taken to transfer patients from an ambulance to an emergency ward has deteriorated over the past 5 years. The latest ambulance ramping report card shows 74% of patients were transferred within 30 minutes. AMA President Dr Danielle McMullen says it's leading to tragic outcomes for many patients.
They really need more resourcing, they need more space, more beds and more ability to just keep up with the incredible demand that is flooding our system at the moment.
A shark warning has been issued for Aldinga Beach after increased sightings of a great white. There will be increased patrols over the long weekend, while people heading to southern beaches over Easter are being warned to steer clear of the algal bloom, which has been killing marine life. It's not toxic to humans, but some swimmers and surfers have reported sore eyes and a cough. David Cunler from SA Health says people should stay away from brown-coloured water and tan foam.
Some of the beaches have got signposts up, but it's just repeating that message about avoiding discoloured water. People can still have a great Easter, just need to be a bit mindful and look out for signs where the algal concentrations could be higher, which is the discoloration.
Adelaide has joined the $1 Million Club. A record median house price of $1.2 million has been recorded in Domain's latest quarterly report. We're the 5th capital city to pass the $1 million mark alongside Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and Canberra. And Hong Kong's postal service has announced it's stopped shipping parcels to the US in response to the tariff hikes on China imposed by President Donald Trump. The postal authority also advised from April the 27th, surface mail to the US will be suspended. Now turning to 5AA sport, Carlton coach Michael Voss has confirmed Elijah Hollands will play his first game of the season tomorrow after taking leave from the game due to personal reasons.
Obviously, he took his leave and has got to work ever since, and can't fault the way that he's been able to approach the last 6 or 7 weeks. He's earned the right to get back in. He's got a very important role to play for us. He improves our system. But at the same time, our expectations are that he just come in and get his job done and contribute to hopefully a win in the end.
The Blues face North Melbourne in the Good Friday clash at Marvel Stadium, while Richmond's Noah Bolter will make a return to AFL on Saturday night despite the 25-year-old awaiting sentencing for a violent assault next week. Jordan De Goey will make his return for the Pies tonight when they take on Brisbane at the Gabba, and the Crows and Port will name their sides. Socceroos great Mark Bosnich says Ange Postecoglou's future at Tottenham looks set to depend on how they perform in their Europa League clash against Eintracht Frankfurt tomorrow morning. Australian golfer Hannah Green is looking to become the first player in 15 years to record 3 straight wins at an LPGA Tour event. She'll tee off tomorrow morning at the LA Championship as the double defending champ. And the International Golf Federation has announced a mixed team event to debut at the 2028 LA Olympics. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Yeah, guys, still got road closures in place in Port Wakefield after that earlier truck crash. Port Wakefield Road, citybound between Port Wakefield and Port Lawn Road. Detours via Balaclava Road. Outbound traffic is slow with speed restrictions in place. Look out for a crash too on the freeway down track near the Stirling Ramp and a car rollover in West Lakes, Frederick Road near Settlers Drive. Cameras just set up then in Medindi on Dutton Terrace and in Vale Park on Ilford Street. HBO original The Last of Us has returned on Max, starring Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey. Every path has a price. The Last of Us, now streaming on Max. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight, mostly sunny tomorrow, a high of 28. Showers increasing on Saturday, 29, and then showers on Sunday down to 19. At the moment, 23. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Beth Excel. Tonight, alarming new numbers on ambulance ramping at our hospitals, an algae warning for some of our most popular beaches ahead of the holiday weekend, why Easter eggs are soaring in price, a special milestone for Qantas, and the strongest evidence of alien life, what scientists say they've discovered. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 Now.
TAFE University used to be free in Australia. Trumpeter Patriots will make it free again. Forgive existing HECS debts. Vote 1 Trumpeter Patriots. Authorised by FIVEAA for the Trumpeter Patriots Gold Coast.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
While you're taking an Easter break, check out Harvey Norman for their super deals. Firstly, there's the Acer Aspire Go laptop with a full HD screen, now just $368. Perfect for all your browsing and streaming needs. You can save $200 on the HP 15-inch Intel i5 laptop, now only $898. A great choice for work or play. Or the Lenovo IdeaPad Copilot Plus PC with a Snapdragon processor is now just $1,298 with the latest AI tools to accelerate your productivity and creativity. It's a whole new way to use a PC. Hurry, these deals must end Monday. Harvey Norman, where you'll always find the best range, best brands and best prices guaranteed.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival. On this Thursday night, it's 9 minutes after 5. We are live from Norwood Oval because nothing beats a Samfel and nothing beats a Samfel super match like we've got tonight. Norwood and Sturt as beats, eats and footy fun awaits for our footy fans arriving slowly into Norwood Oval for tonight's game. We've got a massive show still to come. Tom Warhurst and John Plainter are going to join us from both the Redlegs and the Double Blues. Greats of their time. We have James Fantasia, the outgoing CEO of the Redlegs, and team selection for Crows and Port will be very interesting at 10 minutes to 6. That's coming up very soon. Plus your calls for Rusden Blackgut Shiraz. 8223 0000 is the number. Your favourite Norwood Oval memories is what we're talking about tonight. But right now, live with us here at Norwood is the great Riley O'Brien. All thanks to Harvey Norman's Clearance Centre, cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more. You can find them at 919 Marion Road, Marion.
Crows big man Riley O'Brien.
You up the OG! Riley O'Brien!
On the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, it is Crows v Giants, Saturday Arvo 3:45. The big hooah! Riley O'Brien, Rob.
G'day, boys. Nice to be here on this beautiful evening.
Isn't it? This is my home. I live just down the road there. I went to primary school just here. My grandmother had a house in Beulah Road. I feel like it's home.
It's a beautiful spot, mate.
Isn't it?
It lit up last weekend for Gather Round, and it's beautiful again tonight.
Do you live this side of town? You strike me as an eastern suburbs person.
I live in Parkside.
Oh,
so,
Parkside.
More your Sturt Football Club zone.
It is.
Yeah, I'm right here on the Oval, actually. So I'm in enemy territory for the Red Legs tonight.
Well, it is. It's Norwood v Sturt tonight.
Yes.
Now, I know the focus is on the GWS game, but in your words, how did you see the team's game against Geelong Gather Round?
Yeah, disappointing, Rowey. We obviously started pretty well at first half. We got up by a bit and then lost our way, certainly in the last quarter, and wasn't able to win the game. So, yeah, very disappointing one on a big stage, and looking to bounce back in a big way this week.
Timmy had the stats. In the first half, 70-odd points.
72 points in the 28-point second half. So, yeah, I know there was a lot of talk about not using the 5-day break as an excuse.
Running out of legs.
It did look like there was a distinct difference between the two halves.
Yeah, it's hard to blame that, but we definitely didn't look as sharp in the second half with our ball use, and with our feet around the contest weren't anywhere near as sharp as the first half. Can't really blame that, but yeah, they certainly brought a high level in the second half, and credit to them, they got it done. We weren't able to stand up.
Yeah. Now, Rob, your coach Matty Nix in the post presser had this to say. Have a listen.
Rob and I spoke on Monday, and Rob was criticising himself because he's a competitor. I don't think it's worth going off one game, for a player, and we'll back him in to bounce back. Wasn't his best game. We've all had one of those. But I know Rob, he's a leader at our club for a reason, because he put his head down now and go to work and make sure that he doesn't put 2 in a row.
Well, we know you'll do that, but before you comment about that, after the game, Scotty Campriali, who's been in the coach's box for years, I love how he sees the game. He had a couple of callers afterwards. So Riley O'Brien's not connecting, he's not taking any contested marks. And by the way, on that stat, there's 2 ruckmen ahead of you for contested marks this year, and they've had 3. Right. And you've had 1, so it's not a big part of the game. But have a listen to Campo.
Riley O'Brien's had 11 hit-outs to 5. So for that quarter, you throw Riley Philthorpe in there, they've had 16 to 6 in terms of hit-outs, but they didn't connect at ground level. And then what happened is, when you don't connect at ground level, the ground ball and the contested possession, that's when that comes into play. And they just got belted in there. So it wasn't, I think it was more the ground level setup, structure, attitude, cleanliness. That was a thing for me in the last quarter, not the ruck.
Don't go blaming Riley O'Brien. Blame the support on the ground, Rob.
Yeah, mate, it's always going to be a mixture of both. When you're not winning the clearance, it's easy to find someone to blame, and I'm definitely part of that. And in the centre bounce, we didn't get done on the weekend. We hit 5 goals against us on the weekend, which is a big number. And it comes down a little bit to the ruck work, getting to the right spots, and then also the groundwork. So it's certainly, we're a unit in there, and I take a lot of responsibility for what goes on in the clearance, and we didn't get done last week.
It's been a big work on for the club through that centre square. I feel, I don't have the numbers, Campo does, and he backs up the numbers a lot better in 5 games. I've got a gut feel you're getting better at that.
We've been pretty good over the first 4 weeks, and we evened the clearances last week, but it was the damage they did from the clearance. They kicked goals going forward.
They had
pretty
clearance
clean
especially,
looks.
5, I think.
Yeah, they had clean looks going forward and burst out of there, and we weren't able to do that with our ones. Okay. So we certainly looked at that during the week and getting a bit more dynamic with our movement, get the ball going forward more rather than hitting back and inviting the pressure and inviting their attack going forward.
Yeah. Do you feel you're getting better with the ruck connection?
Yeah, we're feeling good. I mean, the first month we felt really good as a group in there, and we, the previous week we won the clearance against Gold Coast, who are one of the best clearance teams in the comp. We won plus 13, I think. So we've done pretty well around the ball so far this year, and last week was certainly a down week for us as a group in there, and me included. But yeah, looking to bounce back.
I heard Nixie there say that you and him have spoken about the game and not and the like. How does that conversation go? Is that a normal one-on-one that you would have anyway?
Yeah, 100%. Every week, most guys touch base with the head coach and get feedback on how the game went. And certainly had a good chat with him after the game, and looked at some clips, looked at things to get better at. His door's always open for guys to go in and seek feedback, and he's obviously the head boss. He's the guy you want to get the feedback from.
Excellent. You move on to the next challenge, of course, and making sure that you fix what you didn't do well last week, but it doesn't get easier. Briggs is a big man.
He is.
He's another big hooer.
He's a big hooer, yeah.
What have I written there on my sheet?
Yep.
Another big hooer.
Hooer. He's a big lump of a lad. He's not as tall as some of the other guys, but he's very thick. He's a big, thick boy. So
he likes to get that. He likes to get a clearance, doesn't he? He likes to grab hold of it and belt it out of there by foot.
He's a bull around the contest, and he plants himself and grabs it and bangs it forward. But it'll be a good challenge. But no, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be similar match up to Tristan Cherry a couple of weeks ago. That big, strong, dense sort of body.
That's a good sider. Have the new ruck rules helped you and helped your game?
They help especially when you're playing a jumper in the centre bounce. They can help the guys who aren't, like they take away guys' strengths. Like a Tom DeConing doesn't get as much of a jump anymore as he used to, because guys can cross the line and just body him up and take that away. So it certainly helps guys that are probably more like getting in the wrestle more than jumping in the centre bounce.
Well, Rob, we know that you're a super competitive bloke. Your incremental improvement has been great, and I don't reckon I can recall 2 bad games in a row, but you better bloody will not have a bad game in the row. We had Mick Godden on, and we spoke about your up-and-coming, what would you call him? Hoo-ha. Nathan McAndrew. What would he be? Your understudy?
Lockie. Yes.
Lockie. He's your understudy.
Yes.
Have a listen to Godsey.
He's a serious contender now. We're really happy with what Lockie's doing.
He's playing well. He's only played 1 game in the sample, but he's done well.
No, he's not.
He's looking good. He's training well. He's obviously had 3 or 4 years on Sydney's list and played a couple of games there, and he's impressed really a lot over the summer, and he's another big hooer. He's a very tall, long boy called Stretch for a reason.
200 and what?
209 or 210.
How do you go with him in the centre square when you do match play?
Okay. Yeah, you just...
do you beat him?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a bit of fun over the summer, so you have to watch the tape back. But I felt
you've got him. No, you've got him, haven't you?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, I mean, over the pre-season, I'd like to think so. But he certainly has got some tricks, and he's trying to teach him up to be better and better, and he'll be hopefully a good player.
Well, he's a month away, I think.
Do you know? I remember, and I'm trying to remember the year, but the pre-season you said, I'm coming after Sam Jacobs. What year was that? Do you remember that?
Don't know. It must have been, because I sort of came into the team in 2019 and took over from there, and he had a little injury and went out.
Yeah.
It might have been that year. Might have been the year before, and I failed miserably, but who knows?
But I loved it because it was like, no, I'm no longer going to play understudy. I'm going to come at you. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want for every spot on the list. Not just in the ruck. You want it on every spot on the list, and it's healthy competition, makes you get better, and I certainly had my struggles with Sauce trying to knock him off because he was pretty good. Every time I got better, he got better. So
all the real turns, but that's good, and that's what you want.
Exactly.
You made him great.
Yeah.
How do you stop GWS's run and gun?
Good question. I think...
And you're going to need to.
Yeah, 100% we will. Yeah. They love running gunning it off half-back. That's their go-to. So, I mean, the key with that, Rowey, is to be as quick as you can when the ball goes forward, press up and get on their back and not give them an easy 5 metres of space to go and run out of you. And then make sure, you're doing your bumper bars and knocking them when they run past you. It's pretty basic stuff, but just doing that repeatedly all game and being really disciplined to come up on their back and not let them, not give them anything.
Well, the other thing with them is defensively they're number 1. How many points against, Timmy?
67 they average against.
There's your game right
100%. There. They've been very, very strong this year, and they're certainly one of the leading teams in the competition. So we have our work cut out for us, but feel confident in our ability to match them. We knocked them off, I think, last time we played them last year at Adelaide Oval and looked through the same thing.
Muzzer back?
He was fully training yesterday, so you have to wait half an hour for the team. But he.
Did you get told to say that?
I don't know, actually. I actually haven't even clarified with the media guy if I get in trouble.
Well, that's
but no, he's back. He's back.
Don't tempt it.
He is back.
So that'll be probably the only change.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So you'll find out in 20 minutes, but I actually can't remember. But I know Muzzer's back.
How far away is Rochelle? I see him training with a big single bed mattress strapped to the side of his body.
Yep, he was pushing to play this week, actually.
Was he?
He was chomping at the bit to get in the team.
What does chomping mean, Timmy? Is that a racing term?
Yeah, it's
chomping on the bit.
They put the bit in the horse's mouth and they're ready to go, mate.
He had one of those in his mouth this week, and he was chomping on it. So he'll be back in no time.
If not, he'll be
good to have him. Yeah, exactly. all the knackery, maybe. Hopefully not.
Get on the back and ride him like a horse.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, big game this week. We are so looking forward to, as a Crows fan that I am, to see our best for 120 minutes against a team that I think we all rate very well, defensively and in attack. I know we'll bounce back. I think our best is good enough. Can we sustain it?
Yep.
That'll be the million-dollar question, mate. And well done, you big hoo-ha.
Thanks, guys.
You better pull one out the bag because that McAndrew rooster's coming.
Yes, sir. I'll be on edge this week and ready to go.
On edge?
So I'll be ready to play. I can't wait.
Well done.
Thanks,
good
guys.
luck, mate. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Let's get the winner.
And off the chockies, the hot cross buns.
Yeah, until Sunday, Rowey.
Okay.
Sunday.
Do you get told to do that?
Don't get told, but it's sort of implied.
Well
so Sunday I'll be having my fair share of Hagues, I reckon.
Well done.
So
hopefully
after a win.
Good on you, Rob.
Good luck, mate. All the best with it. And no more thanks to the Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. Cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more. You can get it all at 919 Marion Road, Marion. Harvey Norman Clearance Centre brought us the big Riley O'Brien. Let's head off to the traffic.
Guys, still got issues in Port Wakefield. Roads are closed after that earlier truck crash. Port Wakefield Road, city-bound between Port Wakefield and Port Lawn Road. Detours via Balaclava Road. Outbound traffic is moving, but there are speed restrictions in place. Also look out for a crash on the freeway downtrack near the Stirling Ramp and a car rollover in West Lakes, Frederick Road near Settlers Drive. Cameras at the moment, Bartill Street in the city and Fitzroy Terrace, North Adelaide. Dan Murphy's don't match prices, they beat them. And with Dan's deals, get Great Northern Super Crisp Lager, 375ml cans, 30 block, $52 for My Dan's members. Ends today. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
5AA is Adelaide's leader in sport. Thanks to Rossdale Homes. Display villages across Adelaide. Drop in for inspiration and expert advice because trust is a must.
Ignition for Men. Adelaide's home of impeccable class and style offer a range of suits by leading Italian brands, including the unparalleled quality of Armani, Canali, Zegna and more. Ignition for Men. What you wear speaks volumes about who you are and where you're going in the world. Make your mark with Ignition for Men. Best fit, best brands. 54 Paynham Road, Stepney. ignitionformen.com.au.
Got something big to budge? Budget with Budget. Little trucks, big trucks. You can do it all in a budget rental truck. Get exactly what you need and at a great price too. So remember, whatever you've got to budget with a budget rental truck.
Budget with a budget rental truck. It's quick and cheap. Well, half your luck when you budget with a budget rental truck.
Budget car and truck rental. Call 13 27 27. That's 13 27 27.
With Big Difference Home Improvements, you can make a big difference to your next family gathering, your Easter feast, your next footy barbecue, get together with mates, your next quality time together. Just you, a nice book, maybe your favourite beverage, and just relax outside and out of the weather.
How good does that sound?
Magnificent.
Big Difference Home Improvements make all the difference when it comes to outdoor blinds, roller shutters, verandas, pergolas, carports, or a stunning timber deck.
Yeah, everything you do makes a big difference, not just to your lifestyle, but to the value of your home. Imagine just going through an open inspection and seeing the big difference out the back. Now, whether you're in reno mode or just adding to your new home, get into Big Difference.
Well, I know I'm a bit more like this. Ask the Big D team.
Ah, nice.
Mr. T, Big D.
Like it.
Mr. G.
Yeah.
Stevie G.
There you go.
Look, you get a free measuring quote, which is great today. Do it. And outdoor blinds. There's carports, pergolas, verandas, or stunning timber deck. The Big D team.
Just get a quote. Make a big difference. Don't make just a normal difference. Go for the big difference. And visit them at bigdifference.com.au.
1 minute you're taking a test drive at Edwardstown Mazda, the next sipping cocktails in Bali.
Oh, cheers. Buy a car from Edwardstown Mazda and win the ultimate Bali holiday, flights, accommodation and activities. Plus, score up to $8,000 in savings across the entire Edwardstown Mazda range. Your new car and Bali holiday are waiting only at Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply.
It's gotta be.
Now, where is my suitcase?
Hey, it's Lauren here from Adelaide. Wouldn't you love a reward just for shopping at your local Star Discount chemist? Become a Superstar Rewards member to earn points, receive birthday vouchers and more. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help? Earn and redeem points on eligible purchases. Visit website for full terms and conditions.
Liquorland is bringing the drinks this Easter with a huge range of rosé, white and sparkling wines that'll go perfectly with your spread. Plus, there's even more ways to save with our price match promise. If you find a lower price, we'll match it. Head in store and ask a team member today. For great value this Easter, you've landed in the right place. Cheers. Liquorland. Visit liquorland.com.au for full T's and C's and to find your new local. 18 plus only. Choose to drink wise.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 26 after 5. You can watch live on the Adrian Bryan Hyundai live stream here at Norwood Oval. Sample Supermax action between the Redlegs and the Double Blues. Tom Warhurst and John Painter are going to join us at 5:30 as we reminisce between the great Sample days and this brilliant rivalry. And a Rusden Blackguts Shiraz is up for grabs for our best caller as we ask, what's your favourite Norwood Oval memory? We'll get back to your calls in a second. And of course, 5AA's got you a chance to get to the very first showdown of the year on the 10th of May on the Saturday. It'll be amazing. And you can also score a night's accommodation at the Pullman Adelaide. For your chance to win, enter now at 5AA.com.au or through the 5AA player app. Kick off your AFL experience at Pullman Adelaide, and you can book at pullmanadelaide.com.au.
Yeah, we're set up right out front of the front doors at the parade. The big game, Sturt v Nord. It's a Sample Super game tonight. Looking forward to that.
Go your legs.
We're going, yeah, give us your memories of the parade. We're going to Roseworthy. G'day, Steve.
How you going, guys?
Excellent.
My first paid position was officially as a bottle scab when I was about 12 years old at Norwood Oval. And 5 cents a bottle was a lot of money in those days.
Yes, it was.
But you got to see some great action on the field from legends like Phil Carman, who was very aware of positioning of cameras and umpires. One day when I was watching, I was on the wing, so I had Phil Carman's back. The umpire and the coverage from the grandstand had Bruce Light's back. And what the umpire and what the cameras saw was poor Phil trying to hold Bruce Light off as Bruce Light went absolutely bunter, flailing at him and trying to hit him. So Phil got the free kick and the goal that consequently came from it. But from my angle, if you remember Bruce Light in those days with the long flowing blonde hair and the great big handlebar moustache, Phil had full grip on both handles of that moustache and was yanking it like buggery.
Oh, that would hurt. That would hurt. No wonder why he's going off. I'm not sure if it's a free kick.
Well, he was warming up for the big Liverpool kiss, wasn't he?
Yeah, probably.
Wasn't he?
Geez, they were two wild boys too. Don't worry. Wouldn't want to get in the middle of them. Let's go to Birkenhead. G'day, Steve.
G'day, boys. Yeah, my memory is 89. Andrew Jarman had just gone over to Norwood, and it was the first game, Roosters against Norwood and the two brothers. And Darren Jarman absolutely carved Norwood up. And I remember yelling out to the Norwood crowd, "You've got the wrong bloody Jarman."
It was 90, it was round one. Steve, there was 13,500 here. I remember it as if it was yesterday, and you're right. There's a lot of antics being talked about that game. That was my memory, wasn't it, as well?
Indeed.
So, thanks,
call.
Steve. You're in the running for the Rusden Blackguts Shiraz, mate. That was 13,500. Unbelievable that day.
Really, really was. Hey, a big crowd expected for the Adelaide Thunderbirds and New South Wales Swifts on the weekend. If you want to head along, Adelaide Entertainment Centre, it's on Sunday. Call in now. We've got a double pass, 8223 0055, and secure your tickets from AdelaideThunderbirds.com.au. 5:30 headlines coming up.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Adelaide has become the 5th capital city to have a median house price exceeding $1 million. Wow.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Just 1 year ago, in March, we hadn't even cracked a median of 900,000 yet. It was 892.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
The yearly growth has been about 12.1%.
5AA Breakfast.
It's now a myth that South Australia is significantly more affordable.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brattig. Police are hunting 2 arsonists after a $1 million fire at Port Elliot. Visitors to Aldinga Beach are being warned to beware of increased sightings of a great white shark. There'll be extra water patrols and aerial surveillance over Easter. The nation's unemployment rate has remained steady at 4.1% in March. Here in SA, it went up 0.2 to 4%. And both the Crows and Port are set to make changes to their sides this weekend, with players out or back in from suspension. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Afternoon, still got dramas in Port Wakefield after that earlier truck crash. Roads are closed. Port Wakefield Road, city bound between Port Wakefield and Port Lawn Road. Detours via Balaclava Road. Also look out for a crash on the freeway down track near the Sterling Ramp and a car rollover in West Lakes, Frederick Road near Settlers Drive. Cameras today, Crossroad in Myrtlebank and Dutton Road, Medindi. Trade in your vehicle for the Jack T9 Ute and get an additional $3,000 trade-up bonus. Trade up to a Jack T9 Ute today for the Jack of all trade-ins. Ends April 30, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, partly cloudy tonight, mostly sunny tomorrow, a high of 28. At the moment, 23. More news at 6 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Hello, Cherry. I'm listening. The Cherry Tiggo 4 Pro is the pick of the bunch as Drive's Car of the Year 2025. Best urban car under $30K. Cherry pick yours from Southern Cherry Morfettvale. T's and C's apply.
Less pear.
More Pinot.
Less Crom.
More canapes.
Less Marks.
More marquees.
Less Ferrells.
More frocks. This autumn, give the footy a miss and have a real ball at the Sportsbet Adelaide Racing Carnival, the nation's finest horse racing, April 26 to May 10.
More?
Morfettville.
Nobody knows paints like Crowies, and I should know because I was a house painter. I've been telling people this for years. That doesn't matter. You too can be a house painter. What do you mean? Well, when you go into a Crowie store, if you've got a few questions, they'll ask you a few questions and they'll give you a few answers. And if you listen to everything the Crowies team say, you too will be as good as me, Timmy.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, no, that's a bit.
You might surpass.
Well, I'm a 6-year qualified painter, but you too can be that.
That's what they can do. They can elevate you that high.
Elevate, that's the word I'm saying, elevate. Doesn't matter what you're painting, staining, tiling, whether it's metal, timber, a house, a chair, it doesn't matter. You'll love their low prices, you'll love their service, and you'll love their quality. Crowies only sell premium quality paints, the best. Love this team. Visit crowiespaints.com.au for a store near you.
Imagine waking up in a home designed for luxury living, where every day brings the opportunity for a morning swim, state-of-the-art wellness amenities, and evenings spent with friends. Retirement isn't about slowing down, it's about living on your own terms. Living Choice has created luxury homes with premium resort-style amenities and a community of like-minded individuals who believe retirement is about living life to the fullest. Make your choice. Living Choice. Go to livingchoice.com.au.
Steinborner has done it again. The Jack T9 Ute has landed at Jack Motors in Gawler. Enjoy a 5-star ANCAP safety rating, 7-year unlimited K warranty, 7-year roadside assist and 7-year capped price servicing. The Jack T9 impresses with a turbocharged diesel engine, 4x4 dual range transmission, 3-ton towing capacity and can easily handle a full-size Aussie pallet with 1,045 kilo payload. All this from $45,980 drive away. Jack Motors, it's well worth the trip. Gawler, Barossa and Clare or at gawlerjackmotors.com.au.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
26-6, nothing beats a SANFL and nothing beats a SANFL super match with Beats, Eats and Footy Fun. We are live at Norwood Oval. We're asking for your memories of Norwood Oval, your favourite ones, 8223 0000 for Rust and Blackgut Shiraz. And of course, you can watch live on the Adrian Bryan Hyundai live stream. We're on Facebook and YouTube as we speak. Just look up our 5AA socials and you can take a test drive today, Adrian Bryan Hyundai. Find your perfect Hyundai car, A-Lifts Road, St Mary's.
Well, I grew up on this oval with this bloke at fullback. His name is T-shirt Tommy Warhurst. He wore number 44. He played 246 great games, life member and Hall of Famer at the Norwood Footy Club. SA played 3 and he played in 2 flags. Most importantly, they were in 82 and the history makers of 84. We're looking at, well, fond memories at this great ground, and I reckon my next guest has plenty. T-shirt Tommy, welcome.
Rowey, thank you for having me, mate.
Oh, good man. You'd have some fond memories at this magnificent stadium.
Nah, you wouldn't have any, surely.
Well, I must say, it's about my favourite place in the world. And if I happen to die tomorrow, they can sprinkle my ashes around the square down the grandstand end if they want to.
Oh, well, that is the thing. Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I spoke to Roger Ludis today. We worked with him, Tommy, and he was a high-flying full forward, and you probably replaced Stazza at fullback. I know you played a lot at centre-half back, but fullback, and he has fond memories of you, and the memories of this, he said, God, he was tough to play on even as a lad, because if he didn't spoil the ball, he punched me right in the middle of the back of the head.
That sounds right.
Now, does that sum you up, Tommy Warhurst?
I think it might. I mean, if you're a defender, you've got to concede that the forward's probably a more talented player than you. So back in the 80s, you were allowed to attempt to slow them down in ways that you quite possibly can't do today. So, everyone who played in the back lines concedes that the forwards had a few more tricks, but we were allowed to try and slow them down.
That's exactly right, which leads me to this. We've had a number of nominations for this particular event. I think it was 1989. Neil Curley was the coach. It was here at Norwood Oval. And, I mean, Curls is a bit of a smart-ass. He sent Centrals down to our end. And Tommy was one of our leaders, one of our strong men. He was one of the senior blokes. As a 2-time premiership player, he said, no.
Not happening.
We're not having this. And someone got in your way and you did miss the ball. You got him right in the back of the head and it was game on, Tommy. Can you talk us through that one?
Well, you've summed it up pretty well. I mean, Curls had some tricks and we weren't going too well, the Redlegs, and the Centrals were flying at that stage. And I think we'd lost a few in a row and we needed to win. And all of a sudden, we've run out second and Centrals are down the grandstand end. And, I mean, Norwood have been kicking goals at that end for 100 years. Even Timmy knows that. So, there was a bit of a verbal going on, what should we do? And he said, oh, no, bugger it, let's go down there and stand up for ourselves. So all of a sudden you've got 12 footies from Centrals coming in through the goals. You've got 12 coming from the Norwood boys kicking goals and, 18 players from both teams in the goal square. So things were going to happen. And I knew the ball that was coming in wasn't one of mine. And and a big fella by the name of Richard Lounder, probably a lovely bloke, but about 6'11", and he sat under it, and there was no way I was ever going to make it to spoil the ball, but I did collect him in the back of the head. And by the time we hit the ground,
and then it went off.
And then it was 18 on 18, rock and roll wrestling.
I think didn't poor old Craig Barn get locked up with Richard as he was taking swings everywhere?
Yeah, there was. I don't think anybody got hurt. There was a little bit of blood spilt, but we won the game. That's the main thing. And Curls complained a bit. He said that they were ambushed and things like that, and he never forgave us, never forgave me, but all fair in love and war.
Absolutely it is. And Tommy, you loved war, and I know playing out here many a time against you guys, you just loved it. I remember we had a bit of a bad run against you guys. I can't remember. I think we might have lost 10 in a row.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we were playing out here and we were getting beat again, and you used some choice words, and you said, Port Adelaide, let's beat them 11 times in a row. You were an antagonising bloke.
Well, yeah, I did have a bit of lip on me, but there were a lot of people around at that stage. You could get around, by saying anything you wanted to, but I think we got our payback. Port might have beaten us 10 times in a row after that. So, it's just a wonderful ground to play footy. It's a smaller ground, as everybody appreciates, and it was often muddy. And you were never far from an opponent. You know, you never saw somebody taking 4 bounces down the wing, or you never saw somebody in space in the forward line. It was just always congested. And I think that's what some of us slower blokes appreciated. You know, some of the other grounds were a bit too firm and fast.
Tell me, though, I remember playing many a game here and having unbelievable crowds. 15,000, 16,000, just felt like it was on top here, but I did love it. Can you remember the biggest crowd you played in front of here at the parade, Tommy?
I don't know, Tim, but I would suspect that, probably every second or third week when we played at Norwood, if we played some of the bigger teams, Sturt, Port,
clubs,
the Bays, we would have got 15,000, 16,000.
Easy.
I can remember as a kid, as an 8-year-old, being on the light towers, climbing the light towers with, a few friends to get a view of the Oval. So, it's small. Yes, it's small, but it's a great place to play footy.
Hard as nails, Tommy. Did you ever get past him in a tackle? Tell me you didn't.
Me?
Oh, Tommy, you could never get past Tommy in a tackle. long arms. Hey, Tommy, well done. Thanks for that, mate, and all the best.
Good on you. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
He was an absolute ripper, pound for pound, tough as nails. You see where his nose is? It's on the other side of his face. And also in the Crows' inaugural team in 1991. Should have remembered that as well. Tommy Warhurst, our guest.
Well, we got Sturt taking on the Redlegs tonight. It'll be a cracking game. These two have been in really good form in recent years, and this will be a top game tonight. But we're floating back to the days of yore, the halcyon days, and one of Sturt's, most decorated players. This guy played 318 games of football, 331 goals, represented South Australia, 4 BNFs. He's in the SA Football Hall of Fame. John Painter, welcome.
Oh, thanks, Tim.
Hey, mate,
Jack.
Outstanding record.
Rowey.
You did go from the Bays and you went to Sturt, and I think I remember talking to you about it. It was John Halbert was the connector there, wasn't he?
That was the connection, yep. So I was at the Bays, and John left Glenelg to go to Sturt and asked if I would go, and also I was going to teach at St Peter's College, so that all fitted in pretty well at the time.
Yeah, beautifully. Then when you got into Sturt, they were flying. You had John Halbert, of course, as coach. That year in 1983, it's one of the years you won best and fairest. That was an incredible team. Did you beat Norwood at the parade that year? Because the big jumbo was on fire too.
I'm so glad you asked that, Timmy Geneva. So 1983 was my first year, and we played a match earlier at the parade, and at the 21-minute mark at the parade, Paul Hollis went in his left leg and kicked this goal, and about 14 people clapped. It was about as many people clapped when Tom Warhurst tossed the coin one day, and he tells the story, about 4 people clapped when he tossed the coin out the middle. And that was the 21-minute mark, and so we're still 5 goals down. And then Hargraves took a mark and goal. Darrington kicked a mark and goal. Jack Howard started to get excited. Michael Graham took a mark about 75 metres out and let go with a screw punt that was went into the grandstand, and Sturt won going away. And then we played them later in the year. The scores, incidentally, on that day was 138 points to 131. Pretty high-scoring stuff. So then round 19, we played them again in 83, and the scores were 22-18 to 19-9. Again, the Double Blues winning. And then we had to play Norwood again in the preliminary final, and we again beat Norwood, a very good Norwood side, to then let us qualify to play the grand final against Westies, which wasn't quite as successful.
Gee, what an incredible run that was. I knew 1983 would have been a good year for you, but those score lines are just phenomenal, aren't they? 138 to 131 at the parade. That is phenomenal. What about opponents in that time playing at Norwood Oval? You would have, the midfield was absolutely stacked with, Aishes and, Macintoshes.
Macca probably the most.
Yeah, who did you come up against in that era?
Yeah, look, Keith Thomas, Michael H, Andrew A. Stevens, Macca was Brian Elliott. Look, I spent most of the time actually keeping my head over shoulder watching out for Tommy Warhurst creeping up on these and Justin Scanlon, to be honest. But Macca was a frightening, intimidating person, as Tommy just said. Like Macca on a wet day, even on a dry day, he was a scary man, but just a wonderful footballer.
Yeah. And teammates, Jumbo Prince is probably the funniest bloke I know, just naturally funny. Did he ever crack you up on the footy field, Jack?
It wasn't just in the footy field, Rowey. That was his downfall. I know Timmy Jennifer set me up a few years ago and led me into a story about Rick, but even as a coach, he just couldn't resist the temptation to be funny over serious. So, he had a big match at Unley when he was the year he was coach, and he would go around the room and he'd build a few players up, and then he got to Chrissy McGowan. And instead of building him up, he said, and Mousy McGowan, and that's a beautiful haircut you got, Mousy. And the boys were just lost it. About to run out, but the guys were just cackling themselves.
Oh, God, he just couldn't take anything too seriously. But see, he was that guy that could perform while doing that.
Yes, he could.
He's so relaxed about it and just had that much confidence in himself, didn't he, Jack?
Well, that's exactly right, Timmy. And again, back in '83, when Rick did end up kicking 151 goals, we lost badly to West Adelaide. But Rick had a magnificent day, and he was unbelievably good. And I think it was the day that he reached his 100th goal for the year in '83, probably about round 7. And, where everyone was hanging on and just upset, he just told the funniest stories up in the upstairs blue room and then said, righto, boys, let's go over to the change rooms and let's forget all about it. And that was just Rick to a T.
Oh, I love it. Hey, mate, thanks for sharing your memories. We really appreciate it, mate. You were probably one of the best and smoothest players I've ever seen. And it was sometimes chasing him. It was great to see him deliver because it was like, geez, how smooth, unbelievable. Jack, thanks very much for your time,
under
buddy.
pressure. Yeah,
love you.
Well done, Jack.
Very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
John Jack Painter, Sturt legend, an incredible career, and geez, those numbers stack up, don't they? Look at the record.
Yeah, good saying indeed.
Well said.
We have James Fantasia to join us, the CEO of the Norwood Football Club, straight after we check your traffic.
Yeah, Tugger's still got issues in Port Wakefield after that earlier truck crash. Roads are closed. Port Wakefield Road city-bound between Port Wakefield and Port Lawn Road. Detours via Balaclava Road. Outbound lanes are open but moving slowly. Look out for a crash too on the freeway down track near the Stirling ramp. Still got delays too from an earlier car rollover in West Lakes, Frederick Road near Settlers Drive. Liquorland is giving away $5,000 a day. Scan your flybys with any liquor purchase for your chance to win a $5,000 Coles gift card. Ends April 20. T's and C's apply. Choose to drink wise. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
We have an abundance of coal and Australia needs to play to its strengths. We need to scrap net zero and lower your cost of living.
Authorised by FIVEAA for the Trumpeter Patriots Gold Coast.
Imagine waking up in a home designed for luxury living, where every day brings the opportunity for a morning swim, state-of-the-art wellness amenities, and evenings spent with friends. Retirement isn't about slowing down, it's about living on your own terms. Living Choice has created luxury homes with premium resort-style amenities and a community of like-minded individuals who believe retirement is about living life to the fullest. Make your choice. Living Choice. Go to livingchoice.com.au.
Agostino Mitsubishi are doing some Renaults on their Nailsworth dealership, which means one thing, just one thing, Renault stock clearance.
Yeah, look, they're, getting rid of the Jip Rock and knocking a few walls down here and there, but they will not get rid of their great service, great finance, great trade-ins, great range, great people. At Agostino.
It's just great. Look, they've got deals on all their stock. There's the Tritons, the Eclipse, the Outlander, the Pajeros, plus enjoy an instant drive-away bonus of up to $3,000.
Tell us about that experience, because you've had it with the Tritons, haven't you?
All of them. Actually, all of them. And the Triton.
Yeah, well done,
my
mate.
favourite.
Fantastic. You've lived it, and that's what I want you to do. Agostino Mitsubishi, Renault stock clearance sale. It's on now for a limited time only. Head into Agostino Mitsubishi Nailsworth, and don't forget Mawson Lakes, Rowey.
Could never do, Timmy. Never.
This Easter, stock up your wine rack at Freestone Estate in Waikerie. There's up to 50% off premium sparkling whites and reds, Sauv Blanc, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Shiraz. Or like a drop of port, pick up 5 litres of port for a bargain, plus non-alcoholic grape juices. Sip your way through the savings Thursday to Easter Monday, but close Good Friday. Even they need a break. Freestone Estate. Premium wine, no premium price tag. Sturt Highway at Waikerie. Follow the signs to Freestone Estate. Drink responsibly.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
While you're taking an Easter break, check out Harvey Norman for their super deals. Firstly, there's the Acer Aspire Go laptop with a full HD screen, now just $368. Perfect for all your browsing and streaming needs. You can save $200 on the HP 15-inch Intel i5 laptop, now only $898. A great choice for work or play. Or the Lenovo IdeaPad Copilot Plus PC with a Snapdragon processor is now just $1,298 with the latest AI tools to accelerate your productivity and creativity. It's a whole new way to use a PC. Hurry, these deals must end Monday. Harvey Norman, where you'll always find the best range, best brands and best prices guaranteed.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you. Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
10 minutes to 6. James Fantasia to join us in just a moment, CEO of the Norwood Football Club. We'd love your calls up to 6 o'clock. And if you'd like a double pass to see Adelaide United take on Wellington Phoenix, it's tomorrow night, a Good Friday clash under lights at Cooper Stadium. 82230055. Call in now. You can win those tickets. Teams have dropped for the Crows and Powell. Let's start with Adelaide. Rowey, your thoughts on the two ins. Nick Murray is back. Sam Berry is into the side. Going out, of course, is James Peatling with that suspension, and Lockie Scholl has been omitted.
Yeah, I thought Scholl might have been in trouble. Nan Curvis comes onto that wing, which is great, and he can float back. But, yeah, 2 ins, 2 outs. Good that Buzz is back.
For Port Adelaide, 3 changes at this... Oh, sorry, 3 ins for the squad, I should say. Rory Atkins has been included. So is Jeremy Finlayson and Darcy Byrne-Jones into that squad. So that'll be carved down at 4:30 tomorrow.
Well, this is the greatest suburban ground in the world. The rotunda to the right. We've got the magnificent fountain in front of us. The parade is here. We've got the Western Wall. When this ground was packed, there was nothing better. And about 9 years ago, my next guest, his name is James Fantasia, become the CEO of the club. He's announced his retirement effective June 30. He'll hand over the reins. In that time, has set my club up again. Jimmy, welcome.
Rowey, wonderful to be here. And Timmy, great to see you.
Good to see you, mate.
Some of your old stomping ground, my great friend.
Well, he's done it already. He's launched into it already. James and I met here in the winter of 1980. I was 14 and my primary school coach had taken over coaching the newly developed under-15s at Norwood, and he seconded me into playing, and I had to train with the under-17s on a Monday, and the guy that came up to me and looked after me day one was James Fantasia.
He's a great man.
How's that?
Sliding doors. You could have been a Norwood great.
Met with Wally Miller.
Did you?
Met with Wally, yeah.
So Wally let it slip. Wally doesn't let anything slip, Jimmy.
No, I think Jimmy was committed.
He was to Port.
But I was definitely a Port.
He was definitely a Port. I tell you what, though, we down the track we got to play again together in the Chill Cup.
Correct.
In the state representations. That was great fun. You played in that a couple of times, but
but I remember that one well. That was good.
Yeah, that was good fun.
Yeah, well, we caught up with Paul Salmon the other day, and I showed him a photo.
Yes, of course.
And my Lord, I said I saw him on the the Space Invaders game, and he stood up, and I thought, oh, we're in trouble.
I remember that. We were kids, weren't we? And this big giant walked in, and we
6'9". Unbelievable.
Well, this is about you, Jimmy. This is about my club. Talk me through the decision. June 30, and it's been 9 wonderful years.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, no, thanks, mate. And just a little interlude on that. So, Rowey and I got back together nearly 9 or 10 years ago, about that time. Yeah. And the club asked us if we would do a review.
Yes.
I shared the review.
Yeah, and we did that together with Michael Taylor.
Yeah.
And I think we may have interviewed about 50, 60 people.
It was
God, it was amazing.
Extensive.
And look, that was part of the reason that invigorated
fire,
me. Yeah. And I said to the guys then, I said, look, I think I might even put in for this.
We made some recommendations to the board. Recommendation 3 was the CEO out and James Fantasia in.
It was not. Let's be clear about that.
No, it wasn't.
Jeff Baines was doing a marvellous job, and he'd actually put his hand up to step out. And I'd been asked about a year before, and I just, look, there was other things I was thinking about at that stage, and but yeah, that review really invigorated and really got me thinking, and wow,
here we are,
nearly 9 years later, and Man, it has been incredible.
What a journey you had, you know, because you worked with the Adelaide Football Club for a long time. Of course, in the recruiting. Sample before that.
Yeah.
You ended up over at the Bulldogs in Melbourne as well.
Well, I'll try and give a very quick summation of it. I actually I went from Norwood as a player, went to Woodville when Blighty was there. I was under Barmy, went to Blighty, played for a couple of years, and then I came back to Norwood, but came back as a technical and development officer.
Remember that name?
And technical and development officer.
Classic,
it was brilliant. And I think I was here for 3 years in the Norwood zone. You know, I was a teacher by trade, and this was like going full-time teaching footy. So I just went, how good's this?
How good's this?
And then the great Wally Miller, who's just been an amazing mentor for me. I think Wally half pushed me out, Timmy. He half pushed me out to go to the SNFL, and because he came to me and
said,
good
people do.
He said, I think you need to get, you know, elevate yourself and put in for that role. And to my surprise, I got that. And we had a fantastic team of development officers from all over the clubs, and that led me to, and this is where the real issue came, because I was in charge then of those state programs. You were involved with the under-16 state programs, the under-18s.
Yes.
I was even in the state of origin. Yeah. And then what would happen is I just by pure organically, over 4 or 5 years of doing that, I knew every best kid in not only South Australia, but across the league. And, you know, and I'd had some involvement with the Crows a little bit with their recruiting, because they had a meritorium and they could just take South Australian kids.
That's right.
So we were feeding them almost like their recruiting little sidearm.
Like a little list management.
Yeah, in a way. And then what happened was Tim Johnson, who was the then recruiting manager, moved sideways to become the marketing manager. And Bill had approached me and said, would you be interested in that recruiting role?
The rest is history.
Well, what was incredible for me was when I got into that role, you got to remember the standard playing contract was $7,500 for a player.
Wow.
They were still semi-professional.
Oh, well, I was unders then.
Yeah, well, you were unders.
I was unders.
AFL, and that's how. And then just watching front seats on how that became fully professional in every aspect of a club. Gee whiz, that was amazing. Yeah. Then so 12 years down the track, a couple of premierships, Timmy. That was pretty good.
97, 98.
They were wonderful. And look, in that time, I think we played in the 12 years. I think we played in 8 finals, 5 prelims.
Wow.
2 grand finals for 2 flags. It was a really good time, and we had great coaches, and we were growing. And then I actually went back to the SNFL for 1 year, and it was almost, I was employed almost by the AFL to reinvigorate the whole SNFL development programs. I did that for 12 months, and then I remember they were doing this review at the Western Bulldogs, and they would change this role, and they called it the general manager of football, and it was going to be a job where this person became actually the CEO of footy.
Yeah, which is
straight to the
what we
board.
know now.
Yeah, that all the senior coach, everyone has to, right? Yeah. Well, I saw that in the paper, and I thought, wow, can you imagine do it? No, I thought, that would be incredible. Well, honestly, the next day I got a phone call from the headhunter for that job.
Oh, wow.
Fast forward, and I got that job, and I just was ecstatic. So I went to Western Bulldogs. I think it was 7 years and 3 prelims in that time, and
fantastic.
I just fell in love with that footy club. And then I had a very brief stint with Hawthorn, and that was more around some health issues that got me out of there.
Yeah.
But gee whiz, going there, that was they had everything in line on and off the field. They, can I just tell you the group?
They still feel like they do.
But mate, can I just tell you this group? I've walked in. Remember, I'm the boss. Right?
Yeah.
You've got Alistair Clarkson, he's the coach. You've got Chris Fagan as the coaching director. Adam Simpson, one of the line coaches. Luke Beveridge, one of the line coaches. Mark Bolton, one of the line coaches. Adam Uze, and there was anyway. And Brett Ratton.
Yeah.
So it was just in every aspect of that football club, it was incredible, and I just felt privileged to get a front row seat again to see what I would call an absolute top program.
And then you transferred that here for 9 years, Jimmy. We always run out of time. On behalf of all Norwood red and blue blooded, I know you got until June 30. You'll play till the end of the line. You've helped set the club up, and you only got to stand here and look back at the improvement in that 9 years, mate. We're proud of you. Thanks for your time, Jimmy, and I love you, mate.
I love you both.
Cheers,
Thank you.
I think anybody that's been in contact with you, mate, has had a good experience, so I really appreciate it.
James Fantasia, our guest, and I reckon that's about it for us, 6 o'clock.
Is it?
Wrap up the chickens?
Yes, we better get into
Are we
the
doing
ground.
any,
Yep.
Well,
we
doing that?
Give away the no, not tonight.
Oh no, because
Not
it's
tonight.
Thursday.
It's only
Jimmy.
Thursday.
Thursday night football coming
But
up
it's
at
Good
6
Friday
Thursday.
tomorrow.
Correct.
It is. So we'll wrap it up for the week. But
okay,
of course, everyone enjoy their long weekend. It'll be a lot of fun. Coming up next, though, on 5AA, the World Game with Stefan Mork after the news.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Right.